to preserve, protect, and promote Africa's ancient natural and cultural heritage. Their main program is an interactive performance called Walking Tall. It's a small theater group that travels throughout Africa to not just get young people interested in science, but to inspire them to become the continent's next generation of scientists and researchers.
What was the impetus for having this performance?
We support research, paleontological research, but how are we going to make that sustainable if we don't start with kids? And how do you do it? How do you bring these fantastically complex concepts of evolution and our birth in Africa, how do you bring that to kids at a school level? And I met up with Greg Marvel-Smith, the producer, and we started chatting and just saying, theatre is the obvious choice. Theatre to teach science.
So why Africa? Why here? Why is this a good place for the performance?
For exactly that reason.
It all began in Africa.
It began in Africa.
Wait for the light bulb to go off behind my head here.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's about. It's the African continent has got the richest paleontological and archaeological resources in the world, and yet most of those resources are being exploited by different universities around the world, different scientists around the world, and there's not a lot of African scientists. So what underlies our production is, apart from educating around evolution, inspiring that level of curiosity that makes kids go, this is something I want to do. This is something I want to get involved in. African scientists exploiting the African resources.
The whole story starts with the evolution of life, right?
Well, starts with the formation of the Earth. So the first scene is the formation of Earth and about 4.3 billion years of history within 4 minutes. In the scene, we go through to multicellular life forms within the waters, the oceans. We travel through the formation of fish, through to amphibians, up onto the land. Once we get to land, the reptilian, the rise of the reptiles. So we have the dinosaurs. In that, we go through to the extinction of the dinosaurs. With the extinction of the dinosaurs, we have the little mammals that were alive at the time, then evolving through to the broader mammalian life form. And that's basically the 4.3 or so billion years.
I have a personal theory that all great explorers, all cultures around the world always had a storyteller who would stand over the fire and say, you'll never guess what happened to me. So what happened to you?
I think being a storyteller is also part of the reason I'm here, because, as a storyteller, you are used to be in front of people, especially young people, where you share something with them. And also because in storytelling, what we do is to make sure that we guide young ones to a better living when they are adults.
And did the whole idea of marrying or putting together science and dance, did that seem a little strange to you at first?
It did, because I was brought up in a society where religion is very important, and also I'm from a very traditional family. So when I joined PAST, it was something new to me to start looking at origin sciences. And I must say, this is my second year, and I've grown a lot.
I was always impressed in school that at one point somebody got the idea that it would be great to be on two legs. What's that called?
Bipedalism. Bipedalism,
okay.
Walking on two legs. It's a key moment, because in the primate line, that transition from walking on 4 legs to walking on 2 legs brought about massive advantages for the primates. And that's why within the scene we focus strongly on that aspect. In the scene, we showed that in a savanna grassland, pretty much like what we're in at the moment, a primate on 4 legs in the tall savanna grass isn't going to see, hear, smell as effectively as one on 2 legs. So subsequently in the scene, we got a feline predator, comes in and takes out the quadrupedal Australopithecine, whereas the bipedal Australopithecine sees the danger.
So 2 legs, 4 legs.
Bottom line.
Okay. As a scientist, the idea of your work being taken in, a somewhat slightly loose interpretation of very specific scientific origins, how does that feel?
At first, when I heard about this, I just thought it was a real farce. And how could you possibly teach any of these concepts using theater and physical theater where there's very little language involved? But as soon as I saw the performance, I became a real fan. It's absolutely wonderful to be able to explain these concepts about our evolutionary development to young kids. And theater is a way that enthuses them, gets them excited about the science so that they want to learn more.
Where are we today, and who's going to take responsibility for the future?
Here in South Africa, the performances by the Walking Tall team have helped inspire a generation of young Africans to select paleontology and other sciences as a career path.
So it seems like there's several overarching messages to the performance.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have a lot of messaging embedded in the show. The evolutionary aspect obviously is key. It's about a simple understanding of the evolutionary process and placing it so that it's accessible to the audience.
Yeah.
The second level is around the environment. Where are we today, and who's going to take responsibility for the future? On a third level, we punt that Africa has this fantastic resource, and it's something that they should be proud of and able to access and find careers in as well.
Evolution, it takes a long time. Evolution, millions of years time. Evolution, get facts from fossils. Evolution, very rare fossils. Animals and plants, the DNA changes. Physically, very small changes. If it's good, generations thrive. If it's good, the species survives. Cool Africa, let's be different. Cool Africa, low carbon footprint. The heat is rising across the world. Africa's future, ours to build. The world is waiting to see. All their eyes looking at you and me. The world is waiting to see. All their eyes looking at you and me.
At the end of the day, what is the goal of Walking Taller Past?
Really, our goal is to create African leadership in the origin sciences on the African continent, but more magically, it's about inspiring young children that science is really cool and that they should and can have careers in science.
I suppose what makes me proudest is when I watch the audience, when I watch those kids totally engaged in the production, and then at the end of the production when they start asking questions that make them realize that the science is not something extraordinary, it's something that's real, something they can understand, something they can work with, and ultimately for me something that as Africans we can all be proud of.
This is really remarkable because it's a very revolutionary idea in terms of teaching. It's the idea of merging theater, something that's very pleasurable to look at, with science. Just watching the performance, I could see light bulbs going off. And the idea is not necessarily to make a world of just scientists, but it's really about expanding people's mind and making them curious to learn what's around them. And I think that this is a remarkable program and is very successful in that.